We finally got to see the third episode of Alchemy of Souls. This episode left us impressed with all the things that happened. But we are more impressed when we see everything that will happen in the next episode. That's why today I'm going to talk about preview of the fourth episode of Alchemy of Souls Season 2. But first, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We upload videos every day. We saw in episode 3 that Naksu discovered that there was a jade in Mudok's grave. At first she didn't know what it meant, but then she understood that this jade is something symbolic between Jang Wook's love and his past love. Naksu was a little upset that Jang Wook hadn't come to the house, so she used jade to call him. Naksu used her energy so that the jade could transmit like a light, and Jang Wook thought he was being called. When Jang Wook arrives at the place, you can tell that he was hopeful that the person who had the jade was Mudok, but it was not. He was then angry that Naksu used the jade to call him, and she realized that he didn't come for her. Angry Jang Wook waits for a good explanation for what she just did. Then Naksu told him that she retrieved another memory and told him that she and he have liked each other for a long time. We see that he is shocked by what she said. And we see how Naksu's countenance changed as she said those words. It's as if at that moment she was talking about the Mudok from 3 years ago. In other words, Naksu, who was the one in her body. So with this we can expect that in this next chapter Jang Wook will realize that Hoyeon's supposed daughter, named Buyeon, is really Naksu. But I understand that he is not going to accept that quickly. But Naksu will have to give him other proofs and prove more certainly that she is really Naksu. We know that Jang Wook's love for Naksu is very strong, and before she was petrified and jumped into the lake, they made several promises of love to each other. I understand that although Jang Wook may think that Buyeon may be Naksu, she will have to prove it in a more detailed and certain way. It may be that in episode 4 Jang Wook realizes that the supposed Buyeon's eyes are blue, since we could see that her eyes turned blue. That may be an official feature for him to believe that she really is Naksu. Recall that he had looked at her eyes before to know if she had blue eyes like Mudok, as that was a characteristic that she had shifted her soul. It is also expected that in order for him to believe that she really is Naksu, she must tell him something specific regarding the promises they have made to each other, such as holding hands as a symbolism of their love and commitment. Then we can see in the previews that some people were dead in a boat near Gyeonggi-Ondiho Lake, and many said that it was done by Naksu. It is being spread in the village that there is a soul shifter named Naksu. Jang Wook goes to the king and tells him that if he is worried about the news, he will capture the soul shifter himself. However, we can hear in the narration that Go-won says, "How can he get rid of something that does not exist?" Here is an important detail. Why did Go-won make that comment? This could mean that he knows that everything that is going on is Jin-moo's plan, since usually Jin-moo tells everything to him. So it wouldn't be strange if Jin-moo had those people on the boat killed to blame Naksu so that everyone would know about her and have the excuse to eliminate her once again. However, if Jang Wook told the king that he himself was going to capture her, it is because he may know Jin-moo's plans, or he is just doing it so that the people and the king will not go into despair. Park Jin told Hoyeon that the ridiculous rumor might kill her daughter. So she will have to make a decision about what is going on. Although she knows that the soul dwelling in that body is truly Naksu's, she must also remember that the body is her daughter Buyeon's. But she might think that since she left with Jang Wook and she has no control over her, she would rather eliminate her before she is with someone else. So she might not do anything to save her so-called daughter. But it could also be that she still has some hope with Buyeon and saves her with the illusion that someday she might have a granddaughter. We also saw how Naksu was talking to Yeol and realized that he is not well. So we will see Yeol and Naksu closer. But she might not only see the condition he has because of the Jin family worm. She might see a sad energy in him because he is still in love with Naksu and feels guilty for abandoning her. In the previews we could see how Yul asks Soe what he has in his body. Most likely she won't tell him because otherwise he might get very angry for what she did, although in a way she also saved him life. But the curious thing is, why she hasn't told him that he can remove the worm he has in his body the same way she did when she gave it to him. The queen said, "I would like to hold a banquet outside the palace walls." She may be talking about the feast that was seen in the previews, or perhaps she may be talking about something metaphorical, related to her desire to change her body. This character is becoming more and more desperate and may become evil. Recall that the body the queen has is not hers and she is frustrated because she feels ugly and wishes to practice Alchemy of Souls, so she can have a prettier body, since her face is burned. In the narration we hear Go-won say, "If Buyeon gets attacked, it will become Naksu's doing. Then everything will become Jang Wook's responsibility." Again, we understand that the prince knows the plan that Jin-moo has made, and that is to use Naksu's image again to disturb Jang Wook. But something very interesting is that he said it will all be Jang Wook's fault, so it may be that the prince himself is okay with what Jin-moo does because he may be falling in love with the supposed Buyeon. So officially in this episode 4 we will see the beginning of Jin-moo's plans in action. In one of the images we can see how the supposed Buyeon is sitting nicely dressed, which makes it look like she is at her wedding or some special ceremony. Then we see a person who is apparently a woman with a pink skirt and a sword. We see that Buyeon feels a negative energy and looks back very scared. Then we see a woman in a blue outfit lying on the floor, the same color outfit of the supposed Buyeon. So it is likely that Jin-moo has sent someone to hurt what everyone thinks is Buyeon so that she can demonstrate her powers and find out that she is Naksu. Jin-moo wants to provoke Naksu's soul and bring back details of when she was a murderer so that she can get out of control and be blamed for the deaths that are happening. It seems that Jin-moo's plan is the same as in the first season. He will use some kind of witchcraft to enter Naksu's mind and control her. With this he can make her murder people, and that would be the perfect excuse for the king to eliminate her. So we expect a lot of action in this new episode. Tell me what you think will happen in episode 4, leave your comment here. If you like this video, like it and don't forget to subscribe.